Good morning. It's another beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. I got the sun on my back, birds chirping. I lifted some weights. I did my cold plunge. I feel good. I feel strong. I feel clear-minded. So let's have a chat. Let's have a little mini podcast. So we had a lot of interesting things this week. Besides in my personal life, I launched a book. There it is. Made Amazon bestseller this week. I'm so humbled and ecstatic about that. But let's talk about the news. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. So I picked up the Dr. Berg, who is a person that has thousands of videos on YouTube advocating natural health and natural remedies, research-backed. He's a doctor, a chiropractic doctor, I believe, but very well researched. And so he's being shadow banned by YouTube, which is the big Google guys. Don't do evil. Yeah, right. And then, I think Russell Brand is being targeted right now. I think there's something coming out, kind of digging out, they've been digging through his past, which is well documented in his books, and he's been very open about his drug use. But, Russell Brand is a big voice of freedom and actually evaluating what is going on with government and big business and all these entanglements and stuff. And then, we have doctors like Dr. Mercola, and we have, Peter McCullough, and, I can go on and on and on. And there's a lot of people that share valuable information. And that's the purpose of freedom. Now, we can go choose where to seek our information and digest it, analyze it, review it, compare it, contrast it, and come to our own truth. Well, there's forces in the world that don't want that. They want you to have their truth and nothing but that truth. And everything else is now called misinformation, malinformation, which is all turning out to be a bunch of horse shit. This is just an agenda. They rolled out in Mexico some aliens. Now, there's been alien life and ETs for since the universe started. We're definitely not alone. But if these were anything but benevolent, we would have long been wiped off the face of the planet. So we don't really have to worry about this. But they're creating through movies, through the media, this notion that, now the aliens are coming. Of course, it's not a war that you can't win, like, a war against terrorism. Well, who's the terrorist? We're fighting ghosts. You got to see these things for what they are, right? They're a license to spend on a military-industrial complex. They're a license to go around the world and do all kinds of unsavory stuff under the moniker we're the freedom crusaders. And none of it has to do with your power, because it's abdicating your power. It is bringing your power to some centralized organization, government, institution that is a bureaucracy that's going to manage your life for you. And this is really where we've been migrating since the pandemic, taking away medical sovereignty, et cetera, et cetera. There's no freedom in that. Absolutely zero freedom. And they don't want you to be free. And so, in a way, not to laud myself, but I am a pariah to these folks, to this agenda. Because I'm free on the inside. I'm free in my heart. I will not be manipulated. I can see the chess pieces a mile away because that was part of the chess game. I've seen too much. I know too much. And so my freedom is on the inside. Now, you can also have a freedom like what Andrew Tate proposes. If you get enough Lamborghinis and private planes and money, then, you can escape the matrix. And that's not true either. He's very much entangled in the matrix because those are all tools of the matrix in the outside world. True freedom only lives in one place. It's your inner world. And so you are free regardless of what happens in the outer world. If your freedom is tied to anything in the outer world, either your political party being in power, or you having a certain amount of money, or you having some kind of false security in a home, a pension fund, something that you feel like is going to protect you in the outside world, that's all false security. You are not free. You are beholden to that. When that falls away, your life will collapse. Now, inner freedom is independent from what happens in the outer world. It doesn't mean that we still go out and create all these things in the outer world and we'll put them in place. I have a nice little house here and I'm stoked and I'm happy with it. But if I lose it tomorrow, I'm still free. I don't like it. You know, it would radically change my life. I got to go figure something out because you got to sleep somewhere. I got 3 kids and, you know, I got things to figure out if that happens. But I'm still free. And so I will not be manipulated. I will not allow myself to be robbed of my medical sovereignty. I will not allow myself to be robbed of my freedom. So I'm going to go seek information everywhere I want to, because I believe that's a human right. And I will come up with my own ideas and my own philosophies about life that are in service to life the way I see it. And I believe everybody has that freedom. I respect it in you, and I would like other people to respect it in me. Now, this isn't necessarily what this book is about, these types of things, but this is where it will get you in terms of thinking and feeling, because true freedom is inside. It's your soul being liberated. It's you speaking your truth into the world, expressing that into the canvas of all of creation, and no longer being so manipulable by society, no longer having advertising and movies and TV and culture and dogma and religious beliefs dictate what you do, what you think, and how you see life. You actually come up with these values intrinsically for yourself based on what you see as the intelligence of life itself, which is a much higher perspective than following what advertising tells you should do, or what popular culture tells you what you should do. All of those are just selling products. That's really all it is. So anyway, I wanted to share this because your inner freedom is in the inside. It's an inside job. It's never on the outside. And there's quite a few things on the outside world that's being silenced as we speak. There's quite a few things that are being moved forward in the media that you should be afraid of, which I would just suggest you take a close look at that. Should you really be afraid of that? Do you need to be afraid of all these things? You really need to be afraid of a little flu virus? You really need to be afraid of something that they make out to be so dangerous, and it turns out the emperor has no clothes? You'd be surprised how little is really of great threat to you, other than the idea that these things are really dangerous. And so someone needs to put surveillance in place, and someone needs to put central policies in place, and someone needs to mandate what goes into your body or not into your body, and where you can go and where you can't go, and all that kind of stuff. So have a thought about it. Stay free, as Russell Brand says. And it is a beautiful world. Can still be a little bit more beautiful. This book is $1.99 with a few more days. I think it goes back on Monday to regular pricing. Please join us. It's an Amazon bestseller. It's actually getting great reviews, which I'm just, it just warms my heart. And it's a beautiful world. Love and truth. Robert.